Every modern democratic society has high expectations of the courts. These expectations stem from the role that courts play in protecting human rights and freedoms in a democratic state. An independent, strong, and transparent judiciary is considered a foundation of the rule of law. Following the restoration of the independence and implementation of fundamental legal reforms, the legal system of the Republic of Azerbaijan, previously inherited from the former Soviet Union, was completely restructured based on democratic principles. The development of the modern legal system of the Republic of Azerbaijan began with the adoption of the new constitution in 1995. This constitution, which celebrates its 30th anniversary this year, for the first time affirmed that the governmental structure of the Republic of Azerbaijan is based on the principle of separation of powers, in which executive power belongs to the president, legislative power to the parliament, Milli Majli, and judicial power to the courts. At the same time, it was established that all three branches of power are independent within their own competencies, and while safeguarding their independence, must function in mutual cooperation in accordance with the principle of checks and balances. It is worth mentioning that the Constitution of the Republic of Azerbaijan shows an equal treatment to all three branches of power. The guarantees of judicial independence include the administration of justice, selection, appointment, training, evaluation of judges, their irremovability, immunity, disciplinary proceedings, financing, remuneration, and other important matters. These guarantees of judicial independence, the structure of the judiciary, its administration, the status of judges, and other important issues are regulated by the Constitution as well as by special legislative acts, such as the Law on Courts and Judges and the Law on Judicial Legal Counsel. The judicial system of the Republic of Azerbaijan, which follows the continental law system, consists of three levels: first instance, appeal, and cassation courts. In accordance with the principle of territorial division, there are 109 first instance courts, 85 district and city courts, and 24 specialized administrative, commercial, military, and grave crimes regional courts. Complaints against the decisions of these courts are reviewed by 6 regional appeal courts. The Supreme Court carries out the administration of justice in cassation proceedings. The judicial self-governance in Azerbaijan is carried out by the Independent Judicial Legal Council. The competencies of the council include the organization of initial and continuous training of judges, evaluation of their activities, relocation, promotion, disciplinary proceedings, management of the electronic court information system, as well as other matters related to the administrative management of the judiciary. Since 2023, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court has been elected as the chairman of the Judicial Legal Council. The council consists of 15 members. 10 of them are judges. 9 judge members representing 3 levels of courts are elected by the Conference of Judges. The remaining 5 members are representatives of the legislative and executive branches, Bar Association, the legal community, and a legal scholar. The participation of representatives of other branches of power in the Council ensures transparency on one hand, and on the other, allows those branches to be closely acquainted with the problems of the judiciary. The regulation of disciplinary proceedings ensures the maximum preservation of internal and external independence of judges. For these purposes, the initiation and implementation of disciplinary proceedings are under the competencies of Judicial Legal Council. It should also be noted that only judge members of the Council have voting rights in disciplinary matters. Moreover, judges are given the opportunity to defend their rights with the support of a lawyer, fellow judges, or the Union of Judges. A significant innovation in this field is that after the initiation of the disciplinary proceedings against a judge, in addition to the member of the Council in charge of the proceedings, another member is appointed as an opponent to defend the judge's position. Judges own the right to appeal from the decisions of Judicial Legal Council to the plenum of the Supreme Court. Closed voting system applied in the decision-making process of the plenum is an additional guarantor of justice. The national legislation governing the selection and appointment of judges, alongside guarantees of judicial independence, also provides for the interaction of the judiciary with other branches of power. The independent body responsible for the selection of judges is the Judges Selection Committee, which consists of 11 members and 6 judges, 1 representative from the Judicial Legal Council's Secretariat, 1 from the legislative power, 1 from the executive power, 1 from Bar Association, and 1 legal scholar. Admission to the judiciary consists of 3 stages: test, written exam, and an interview. The long-term training of judicial candidates is carried out after their appointment, according to their specialization. The candidates who successfully pass the exams are ranked depending on their scores and voluntarily choose their appointments among the announced vacancies in that particular order. These selected candidates are initially appointed for a 3-year probationary period. They begin exercising their authority after taking the oath at the plenum of the Supreme Court. At the end of the probation period, those whose performances are evaluated as satisfactory are appointed for lifetime, until the retirement age established by law. The appointment of judges is carried out by the President for first instance courts and by the Parliament for appeal and Supreme Court judges, based on the submission of the Judicial Legal Council. This ensures transparency in the process. Currently, Azerbaijan has 649 judges, and 27% of them are female judges. This data corresponds to 6.49 judges per 100,000 inhabitants. According to Article 127 of the Constitution of the Republic of Azerbaijan, judges are independent, subject only to the Constitution and laws of Azerbaijan, and irremovable during their term of office. This provision protects judges from being transferred to other positions without their consent during their mandate. To improve the quality of justice, enhance the management of the judiciary, ensure transparency in the promotion of judges, and for other purposes, judges are evaluated every 5 years. The evaluation is entrusted to the Judges Evaluation Committee, which operates under the Judicial Legal Council. To ensure the independence of judges, the committee is composed solely of judges, 3 judges from each level of the judiciary. To guarantee internal judicial independence, the role of higher courts and court chairpersons in the evaluation process has been minimized. Evaluations are primarily conducted on the basis of quantitative and qualitative indicators gathered by the Electronic Court Information System, which allows for an objective assessment of judges' professionalism. Article 128 of the Constitution defines judicial immunity. Azerbaijani legislation provides for judicial immunity in 3 main aspects: substantive immunity, functional immunity, and procedural immunity. Substantive immunity excludes judges' personal liability for judicial errors, with the state assuming responsibility for compensation of any resulting damage. Functional immunity prohibits judges from being held liable for their discretion, such as for the conclusions they reach and the positions they express in the course of adjudicating a case. This immunity continues even after a judge's term of office ends. Procedural immunity prohibits criminal prosecution of judges for acts envisaged by criminal law without compliance with procedural guarantees. Except in cases of being caught in the act of committing a crime, a judge cannot be arrested, detained, subjected to personal search or examination, or prosecuted without the consent of the Judicial Legal Council. It should be particularly emphasized that in its 2022 decision, the Constitutional Court of the Republic of Azerbaijan firmly stated that no criminal prosecution against any judge can even be initiated without the consent of the Judicial Legal Council. It is well known that the financial security of judges is important for ensuring their independence. The salaries of judges are determined by law and vary according to the level of the court, the position held, and the term of office. Reducing judges' salaries is prohibited by the law. It's worth mentioning that the salaries have increased by about 30% over the past 2 years. The pension of judges is also an important criterion of the financial independence. According to law, the amount of judges' pensions, depending on their term of office, ranges from 50% to 80% of the average salary they receive during their service. In addition, continuous measures are being taken to improve the judicial infrastructure, construct new court buildings, and enhance judges' working conditions. All courts in the country are connected to the Electronic Court Information System, benefiting from the advantages of electronic proceedings. The independence of the judiciary is the cornerstone of a strong and sustainable state. Azerbaijan's ongoing progress in strengthening its legal system illustrates not only an effort to uphold the rule of law, but also a deeper commitment to democratic transformation. As courts become more autonomous, they gain the ability to act as neutral arbiters between citizens and the state, safeguarding rights, ensuring fairness, and fostering public trust in institutions. Judicial independence therefore does not merely serve the legal system in isolation, it strengthens the legitimacy of governance itself. That is why all three branches of the state, ensuring mutual independence, should work in cooperation to reach that common goal for the benefit of the state and society.